What's going on, everyone? Chris here, welcoming you to the first Black Ops 2 class setup from Season 3 of my Loadout video series. I've been really excited about creating loads of classes with this new Pick 10 system. It's going to allow some really fun and useful classes throughout this series that you can put into use in game and go on some rampages. One of the first setups I did for Modern Warfare 3 was an FNG class, Effing New Guy, which was kind of like a beginner setup to help new players under level 20, kind of get to grips with the game. So I'm going to do the same thing for Black Ops 2, and I've named this one a New Recruit. So like I mentioned, this is going to be a beginner class setup for players under rank 20, making use of all the equipment that you get at the start of the game. And I've kind of designed this to be the best way to experience all the new aspects of Black Ops 2. So we're going to make use of a variety of equipment and try and play around with quite a few different kill streaks, or score streaks as they're now known. So let's jump straight in and take a look at the weapons and equipment for this New Recruit setup. We're going to make use of 5 points, so exactly half of the Pick 10 system to equip various weapons and equipment. I will make use of the full customizability of this new Pick 10 system in future episodes, but for this first one I'm going to kind of keep it more traditional and make a selection from each individual category. It is sometimes useful to put those points towards extra weapon attachments or perks, but if you're a Call of Duty veteran, you've probably developed your own little play style, which may include switching to a secondary weapon or using those grenades and tactical pieces of equipment. It does take a short while to get used to the fact that these things might not be there depending on your class setup. So for this first one I've kind of set it up to minimise those annoying moments, such as when you try and switch out to your secondary weapon only to find it's not actually there. So first up, for the primary weapon, you'll notice immediately in game that SMGs are much more prominent than they were in Black Ops 1. You get the MP7 and the PDW57 quite early in the game, and they're both really competitive choices. While the PDW57 does have a higher mag size, from experience the MP7 seems to have lower recoil, although I'll have to wait until the stats are released to be able to double check this. But at least the MP7 is a weapon that you might be familiar with from Modern Warfare 3, so for those reasons we'll select it for our primary weapon. As for attachments, we've got a total of 3 slots available if we made use of the primary gunfighter wildcard, but to save those points in the overall Pick 10 system we'll just go with 1 attachment, which is really all you need on the MP7 since it's a very versatile weapon overall. So that attachment we'll go for is the laser sight, which is a reincarnation of the steady aim perk from previous games in that it's going to increase your hip-fire accuracy, plus it grants you that little nice addition of an actual laser beam, which makes it much easier when taking out targets when hip firing. The laser sight is one of the earlier unlocks as part of the submachine guns just after the reflex sight, which makes it perfect for a beginner setup. Just so we're not left vulnerable in a hot firefight if you run out of ammunition in your MP7, we'll use a point to equip a secondary weapon. And the best out of the early unlocks is the B23R, which is the first non-semi-automatic pistol you can get your hands on. The B23R's 3-round burst, so it makes it much easier to take out targets than trying to quickly spam that trigger like you would with a semi-auto, but you do have to work up to level 19 before you get to unlock this weapon. Because we're keeping this setup familiar to what you might be used to from previous titles, we'll make a lethal and tactical choice. There's plenty of objective game modes in Black Ops 2, and grenades are really handy to secure those objectives. You get the choice of a normal grenade, a frag grenade, or the Semtex grenade, both of which we're familiar with from previous games. But I'd go with the Semtex grenade with it being more versatile, since you can stick it to objects and it's got that shorter fuse. And for the tactical slot, the EMP grenade is going to be a real lifesaver if you're new to the game. One of the first things you might notice in game is you can no longer knife sentry turrets, as well as there being plenty of drones that are trying to hunt you down. So the easiest way to tackle any of these drones or any enemy pieces of equipment is to simply toss an EMP grenade in their general direction. This is also going to help you rack up those extra points, seeing as you'll be probably one of the only players on your team running some kind of EMP equipment. So all those nice points you'll gain from destroying those pieces of equipment will be all yours. So moving on, let's finish off this new recruit setup with a look at the perks and the score streak rewards. We've got plenty of points spare, so we can use one of the wild cards to double up on one of our perk slots. And out of all the perks that you get early on in the game, I think perk slot 3 has a couple that are considerably useful. First of which is dexterity, which is going to grant you that pro benefit of steady aim from previous titles, in that you can recover and bring up your weapon much faster after sprinting. Gunfights are much faster in Black Ops 2 than they were in Black Ops 1, and it's much more similar to Modern Warfare 3 in the overall pace of the game and how fast you can die in a gunfight. So being the first to lock on and get those shots out is really crucial. So because we're doubled up on perk slot number 3, we'll go with the Engineer perk for our second choice. This is going to give us two main benefits. First of all, it's going to give us that sit-rep vision in that you'll be able to see enemy equipment highlighted in red. This is going to be especially handy seeing as we've got those EMP grenades. So you'll be able to see items like the Guardian lurking behind doorways, so you and your team don't end up getting microwaved. Then the next main benefit of the Engineer perk, which we'll make use of later, is the ability to re-roll care packages. We'll talk about the care package a little bit later on in the score streak section, but that ability to re-roll them is going to come in really handy and allow you to experience all those aspects of Black Ops 2. So by now we'll have 2 points to spare for other perks, so the two choices I'd make would go with Hardline and Toughness. Hardline is just going to make it easier to get those score streak rewards, and it's not going to be long until you get one of those care packages, so combined with that Engineer perk you'll be able to play with all kinds of score streak rewards multiple times in any one game. Then going back to the fact that the action is very fast paced in Black Ops 2 and you can often lose out in gunfights quite easily, the Toughness perk is just going to protect you from enemy incoming fire and it's going to reduce that flinch, much like the Focus Proficiency from Modern Warfare 3 or the Hardened perk from Black Ops 1. So that's the main pick 10 system out of the way. Don't forget that in Black Ops 2 you now have to go into a completely different section to set up your score streak rewards, which is pretty annoying. I would have preferred them to have done it more like Modern Warfare 3 where you could select different score streak rewards for each class. But the 3 rewards we're going to choose for our new recruit setup are just going to help you have a better experience in game and give you that ability to experience all the cool new stuff. So first up we'll go with the UAV. Because the Ghost perk is unlocked pretty late on, you'll find that almost all the enemy team will appear on the minimap, and since we've got the Hardline perk equipped, we'll acquire a UAV in no time, and it's also going to help us rack up those extra points, not only to rank up faster, but also put you well on your way to acquiring your Hunter Killer Drone, which is the next score streak reward. The Hunter Killer Drone is a cool new score streak reward in Black Ops 2. Not only is it super easy to actually acquire, but you can also get some nice easy kills with it. All you have to do is just toss it up in the air and it'll just fly around the map and pick people out at random to dive bomb from the sky. Then the best way to experience all those new score streak rewards in Black Ops 2 is to equip the care package. This is going to be made much easier with the Hardline perk, and then if you don't like what you get in your care package you can simply re-roll it with the Engineer perk. Being a beginner to the game, it's not like you're going to be able to go on some major rampages and acquire those high kill streak rewards yourself. But with the combination of the Engineer perk and the care package, if luck's on your side you can get some really nice goodies. And since you didn't really work too hard to get it in the first place, even if you completely mess it up, it doesn't really matter. And it gives you that practice for when you do actually acquire the score streak when you've equipped it later on in your game career. So that's about it for my new recruit setup for Black Ops 2. If you're excited to see more of these class setups for Black Ops 2, or if you just enjoyed this first video, please drop me a thumbs up down below to help spread the word and give this series some more widespread exposure. If you've just stumbled across my videos, don't forget you can subscribe to stick around for all my upcoming Black Ops 2 content. You can also follow me on Twitter or Facebook if you want to make suggestions for any upcoming loadouts I should feature as part of this series. So I'd love to hear how you get on with this setup down in the comments. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you all later.